Memphis, Tennessee. Brother John is putting in some overtime, but it's for a good cause and a good reason. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a busy day. We had so many guests to come through today, but I'm saving the best for last. Now, a couple of months ago, we had this young lady on who came in and just set the whole studio on fire. Right? She came in here, had all this energy talking about Indie Memphis and all the stuff that was going on. And we had the Indie Memphis Film Festival, and I was invited, and it was spectacular. It was outstanding. It was like one of the dopest events I ever attended here in the city. And so she's back. Kimmel Fryer is in the building, and Amanda Willoughby is in the building as well. And we're going to talk some things that's going on over at Indie Memphis. But first, welcome. Amanda, it's your first time over here with us. But Kimmel, I got to say, great job. I was blown away. I was just so entertained. It was I can't wait. I want to sign up to become a member. But how things going? How things been going?
We love to hear that. Things have been going really great. The festival was a success. We had record attendance since COVID, so it was really great to see so many people in the community and even outside of Memphis come to Memphis to celebrate the love of independent film with us. It was just really dope. There was just so many great vibes and love throughout that entire experience. So really grateful that was my first experience.
Come on now, you got to get it up for first one.
That was my first experience as executive director. So
right.
I was like, okay, the bar is set like so high, and now we gotta do it even.
Gotta raise it high.
Yeah, we gotta do it even bigger next. Well, I won't say bigger, but we'll finding ways to make it even better. Always.
Good. What was one of the things that you like that stood out to you, like out of like if you looking back over the whole fest, was there like one thing that just like really made you proud or something that stood out the most?
I would say I was really proud of the fact that we had so many filmmakers come in person, and there were so many people that was their first time in Memphis.
Whoa.
And they loved it. They loved the Indie Memphis staff. They loved the food. They loved the experience. They loved the environment. And so many of them left saying, I want to come back. Right. That was just the cherry on top.
Yes.
So yeah, I was really proud of the staff. They worked so hard throughout the year, even before I came on board, to really put that together. And so to see such a great response from people in their field,
right.
That just made it even like. I've been bragging on them ever since, and I've been telling them like y'all need to brag on y'all because y'all did that. And there's times where we can be humble, but there's also times we can relish in the fact that we did a really good job. So let's acknowledge that and let's be proud of that. So
right, okay. Amanda, this is your first time here on the air. You got to let everybody know what you do, what you're about, tell them about the filmmaking piece, because I love to show examples of people that's in the field doing the work. And I think, you're doing something very big over at Cloud 901 in the library with our young people. So can you step up to the microphone and break yourself down?
Sure. I'm one who wears many hats, forever student of the arts. I am a filmmaker, by trade, by love, by all things.
Okay.
But I'm also a multidisciplinary artist. I'm also a painter. But I also am the mentor program coordinator for Indie Memphis.
Yeah, we got to clap that up. Yes.
And on top of that, I work for Cloud 901 Teen Learning Lab inside of Memphis Public Libraries, where I am the lead video instructor. So my entire world is all about creating films and creating the next generation of filmmakers coming out of Memphis. And these kids are doing stuff that I was not even capable of until my 20s.
Right.
So I'm really, really excited about the future of filmmaking in Memphis.
So how and what did you think of Indie Memphis Film Festival?
Oh, it was the bomb. I had a blast.
What? Please hold my drink.
And to be honest, like most of the staff, I barely watched any movies, and I still had a blast because there's just so much going on at all times. There are parties, there's food, there's so many people to talk to. I spent most of my time just meeting all these filmmakers, all these people that are new to Memphis, and I made a ton of great friends and people who I do need to go back and watch their movies now because just knowing them and how awesome they are, I know they made some great stuff.
Thank you. And Kimmel, how important was it to create that space for filmmakers? Like she said, she done met folks and different filmmakers from around the country, whatever. But to have that right here in Memphis, and it seems like that can propel her, a year down the line from the connections that you all created from the film festival.
It better.
Stun on us, yes. Stun on us, yes.
In all seriousness, though, that is integral to it.
Right.
That networking in the film industry could be the difference between you getting your next gig or not.
Right.
And if that gig is a hit, that could be a life-changing project for you.
Right.
Even if it's not a hit, right? Even if it doesn't make it into like one of the top 7 film festivals in the world or anything like that, you being able to have that experience is more experience under your belt to continue the art and you love. And on those projects, you usually meet your next crew. You meet the next people who you want to work with on your projects, or you meet people who might be working on something else, but if they see how great you are in your role, then they pull you onto something else. Like, networking literally opens doors, especially, that's across the board in any industry, but in filmmaking, it literally could be the difference between your next gig or not. So it's really important that we had such great space for that our staff, Joseph Carr, Miriam Bale, May Todd, Kayla Myers, everyone, and you.
And you, yo.
Listen, because Amanda's a part of Indie Memphis longer than I have. I just started in October. But it was really great that they took the time to curate those spaces so that filmmakers could connect. Some of it was connection amongst people who were just there as consumers. And so that's great because now you got filmmakers meeting fans. Right. You got filmmakers who put art in the world and they're actually meeting people who connect with that art, right? And then we also had spaces just for filmmakers so they could connect with one another and just as an artist, talk about different things they're doing, maybe other projects that they're working on. That is literally everything. So I'm really glad that Amanda got to experience that, and I'm really glad that a lot of filmmakers it seemed to enjoy that space here in Memphis.
Right. We ain't had to go nowhere else. It's like right here.
Well, and I want to say this. I alluded to this earlier a few months ago, and I say this a lot, but, a lot of people don't realize we have had a history with film for decades.
Whoa.
For decades. Who in this room has heard of the film Gone with the Wind?
Yeah, that's classic.
The shots of Woodlawn, which is a house located in LaGrange, Tennessee, is used in Gone with the Wind. West Tennessee, we're not new to this.
Okay.
But we would benefit from consistency, right?
Gotcha.
And I think that our organization really strives to, we strive to connect the community through independent filmmaking, but also we are definitely, we're definitely having the continuation of the consistency of filmmaking and propelling filmmakers to continue that so that we can continue to put Memphis on the map. Like that's what we're here for.
Man, so Amanda, now you've been here longer than her, right? You said she said you've been at Indie Memphis longer.
Yes.
So how was it when you found out that she was going to be the one running it? You know what I'm saying? She's going to be at the top of the food chain and, coming back and doing that. How did that make you feel? Because the first African-American to lead Indie Memphis, how did that make you feel?
Oh, I'm so proud of Kimmel, and I've known Kimmel. I'm so proud of Kimmel, and I've known her. We met at the festival last year. You've had
Or 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah, because Black Creators Forum 2020, everything. Yeah, so I've known Kimmel, and so when I found out, I was like, girl.
Yeah.
Yes, we need you. And she has the resume and the proof in the pudding to back up everything she's bringing. So I'm so proud, and we were already friends, so that just made it was icing on the cake.
Icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So now that we got that out the way, right? So now I want to keep the eye back on the organization. So what's next? All right. We did the film fest. Boom. So now what's next on the agenda for Indie Memphis?
So we actually have a mentoring program.
Okay.
I talked about it a few months ago. But our applications for our Crew Up mentoring program actually end on Sunday.
Okay.
And so this is the program where students through grades 7 through 12 are able to apply. And if they can either apply as a team or they can apply individually and they can be placed with the team. And when they are placed with the team, they will also be paired with a local filmmaker, a local experienced filmmaker. That filmmaker will teach them basically how to make their first short film.
Wow.
From concept through an actual finished, edited short film. And as long as everybody meets their deadlines, that short film is actually going to be shown at our Youth Film Fest. I don't think a lot of people realize. I mean, we say too. I count that we actually have like 3 film festivals in 1 year. We have our annual signature film festival in October. Concurrently with that, we also host a virtual film festival that is managed separately.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So we kind of got 2 festivals going on at the same time. But in August, that's when we usually host our Youth Film Fest. And so if we have students a part of the Crew Up program, they finish the deadlines, they submit their finished film by the deadline, then that film gets a spot in the Youth Film Fest.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge. And so the deadline, so where do they go to apply? Like, is there any prerequisites? Like, do they got to know how to work a camera? They got to, what's the beforehand they need to do?
Now, we do have applications online. Our website is indie, INDIE, Memphis.org. Yes.
Okay. Right.
And if you choose the youth, there's little ways you can get to the youth program, and Crew Up has its own page, and they can apply directly on the website. Each of the film groups get a budget that we supply, so they're not just completely making this from scratch. We give them a budget, we give them a mentor who has experience in this field, and they are working with them, and they actually kind of have like I won't say it's a strict curriculum, but they do have a guide on things that they're supposed to cover, and they have to also submit proof to us that they've covered them. So it's really. I wanted to put that out there because I know sometimes there might be like concern, yes. Like how do I know like what the quality of this is? But no, it's very detailed, it's very structured, but it also allows the kids to get creative as well. Wow. So I think that it's a great program. We've gotten a lot of submissions, but I wanted to come speak to you and speak to the people in case there are any parents out there, there are any students listening to this, if they have just a little interest in film and maybe seeing what that process is like, they can do this, get a film budget given to them, and be able to make a short film.
Good. And Amanda, I want you to speak of, like, when she said budget, my mind just went to a place because, our young people, when they think of jobs in this field, it may not be the glamorous basketball, football, WNBA, actress type thing, but, we got people that buy sets and cameras and makeup and wardrobe. What are some of the things that you think, like, are those some things that can interest the young people? Because if we are a hotbed and, we bring in these spaces for young filmmakers, how can we get the young people involved in filmmaking?
My policy is put the stuff in their hands. So put the equipment in their hands. Let them see, like, what they can do with these tools, even if if it's something simple as using their cell phones, that can just show them what they can create, and seeing that playback on the screen, that usually gets the spark going. And like we give them a $500 budget so they can use that to buy props, makeup, costumes, build things for sets.
Get creative.
Yeah, get all kinds of creative. Like, there's so many jobs. I tell these kids, like, there's so many jobs with films. Just wait until the end, and you're gonna be sitting there for 10 minutes,
right?
and seeing all these people. Like, there's so many
and
things.
Each one of those people got paid, right?
That part.
Yeah, that's a lot of credits.
But also, and one thing I should have mentioned earlier, we work with Cloud 901 with our Crew Up program so that they actually get access to equipment for free.
Right.
And I really want to emphasize that, because this is not like, we're not talking about your typical DSLR.
Right.
We're talking about like cinematic cameras.
The real ones.
Yeah.
The real one. Now, you can't buy these at Walmart now, ladies and gentlemen. Best Buy do not sell these type of cameras right here. It's for real.
I was not using stuff this good in college. So and these teenagers can come in here and get their hands on the best equipment that money can buy. And the library cares to have that for them.
Right.
And then we have Amanda. We've also got other people in the library who are willing to show them how to use things and break it down before they actually take it.
Right.
Because that's something that I had to deal with my crew. They were really apprehensive.
Hold up now. You know how much that costs, right?
They were adamant they wanted a Blackmagic camera. I think they were thinking about the pocket one. I was like, no, we're going with the big boy. We're going for the big one. We're not going for the pocket. And they're like, oh, we're not ready for that. I'm like, you will get ready. Straight face.
Yes, no experience is necessary. We teach everything. We're going to hold workshops so that everything you have to do, before you get to that point.
Right.
Yeah.
So how is it like y'all watching like the light bulb go off, like when watching, not just a student, but just people that's new to it, once they grasp it, and then you watch them grow. Have y'all witnessed anybody like that?
All the time. It's the best feeling. That's why I haven't done anything else. I fell in love with filmmaking and giving back to, because I know what that feels like for me.
Right.
And I just want to be that adult that I never had growing up. Someone that can show me the way, tell me what to do, and then leave it in my hands to just explore and make something. And that light goes off. It's just like,
yeah,
that's my baby. Now go ahead and be great. It's gonna be
And
great.
y'all watching them grow and shine, but y'all remember when they first picked up that first camera or picked up that first makeup stick to do makeup. It seemed like that feeling is something, like you said, you would like to see that in everybody and nurture that.
It's really beautiful to see people starting to find their purpose, right?
Right.
And even if someone joins for Crew Up and they decide they want to do it one year and not the next, that's fine. But when you do this process, something will click for you at some point. And to see that light bulb go off, it's just a very unexplainable feeling. I'll tell you a funny story about my crew.
Okay.
Anaya, Sean, and Jared. Hopefully they're listening. If not, I'll send them the link. They were really adamant in their film Amorphous. They were really adamant to have a special effect of this girl's eyes turning red.
Okay.
Right? I told them up front, when it comes to editing, I know how to get it done. We talking all these different special effects and us. I don't know about that. As Miss Commander, if she can't get it right, then y'all better have her blink real hard,
You better have something else now. What's up now?
Well, because also, I told you I have a finance background. So my thing is always to try to shoot what you can afford to shoot. And so when we talk about special effects, sometimes that can get extremely expensive.
Right.
If they're not well done, it can make it look worse. So my thing is always to try to keep things simple, to the point, make sure you got a strong story, but to shoot something that can visually come across to the consumer. That's the point for me as a filmmaker. And so that's what I taught them. And so they were like, Miss Camille, we're not going to have her blinking. She's going to look like she got, whatever. And so I was like, okay, we'll figure it out. they wouldn't show me like the final. They set up a time for me to see the film, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been bothering them for a full week, and they were like, we're gonna show it to you on this day. Y'all, they had several special effects in there. They had several special effects in there, and I was just blown away. I was so proud.
And it looked right?
It looked really good.
It looked good.
It looked really good. So, fun fact, my team actually won. They won the Audience Choice Awards.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
They did so well. And so, going from teaching them the concept, right, seeing them work through writing a log line, turning that into a screenplay, figuring out how we're going to cast it, what locations we're going to be at, what the costumes are going to be, whose color, a color analysis for each character, like seeing them go through that process. And then we're at the end, and now y'all are teaching me things about special effects and editing.
Right.
It was a complete full circle for me.
Wow.
I mean, just complete full circle.
So totally different from that first day when the team got together.
Oh, for sure. But I was very confident in them, and we're always confident in all of our kids as long as they try, as long as that child comes through and is just open to learning, they're gonna come up with something amazing.
So that sounded like something what you were saying, like, you can get in here and, you don't know what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
you end up making a masterpiece not even knowing that you could do it.
Yeah, let me brag on Anaya a little bit more, because I actually met her the year before. During quarantine, we pivoted to online camps, and this was my first time having to do an online filmmaking camp, which scared the mess out of me, because it was because y'all got to work independently with not me there. So I had a smartphone filmmaking camp. Anaya was one of my campers that year, and honestly, throughout the whole camp, I was a little worried because all these kids have their cameras off. So I'm thinking I'm talking to myself. Come the end of the week, all these kids have these cool short films they made. Anaya made the sweetest little short, and it was the first time out of the box even trying filmmaking. And after that, that's when she decided, this is what I want to do for a living.
Wow.
And I told her about Crew Up, and we got her paired with Kimmel. And
Yeah, it was.
And her twin brothers were the cinematographer and the editor. And she had experience with filmmaking. They did not. They were completely new to it. So, and they're 14. She was 15 at the time. So I mean, anyone listening to this, just please know, your child does not have to, they may have never picked up a camera before, and that's totally fine. We'll teach them anything they need to know. But if they're interested in it, we want to see new faces. We definitely want to get the word out. This is a very positive program. It's for our youth. And we want to continue to kind of grow it, and we want to continue to engage as many Memphis youth as we can in this process.
Beautiful, beautiful. So after Crew Up, is that the last thing for the year for you all, or is it any that last week, anything going on over at Indie Memphis, or are we preparing it for 2023?
On December 14th, we will be having our last micro cinema event. It will be at Crosstown. And
you got to tell the people what micro cinema is.
Okay. So micro cinema is where we are basically showing, we're screening a film.
Okay.
Or films. And so with this, and that's actually something that happens monthly. It always happens the second Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
So I want to definitely emphasize that. So, for any of my film lovers out there, you don't have to be a filmmaker. If you just want to come out, see some cool stuff, every second Wednesday of every month, we are going to be screening something. And so we will be screening our departures. And departures is basically a word. It's basically a category that we use in our film festival. It's really for films that are a little out of the box, a little experimental. Okay. Some of them might be animation. Some of them might be a mix of animation and actual live action. But either way, it's something a little different than what you're used to seeing. And so we're going to be showing our award-winning departures over the past few years, and we're really excited about it. So it'll be our last event of the year. I would love to see a lot of faces come out and join us at Crosstown next Wednesday. So.
Okay, so if people want to join up or sign on or just to be a part of Indie Memphis, what would they need to just go to the site and fill out anything? Because I want to get my membership up. I want to be a member, and I want to sign my son up for this crew up piece. But
please do.
How can like people that's listening, that's like you said, like they like, hold up, wait, you don't have to touch your camera, you know, it just do it, because I think a lot of people think you gotta know something, you know, but you saying y'all both, they both said you don't have to know yet, but you gonna learn. You're gonna learn how to use it. But we can just go to the website, and that's where all the information.
IndieMemphis.org. Everything is on there. If anyone is connected to any one of us and they have questions, we'll point them to the website. But it's all on there. And again, your child does not have to have any type of experience in film.
Like all straight up now, because you know some people get there, I don't know how to hold the camera. Oh, you gonna learn.
We all have to learn.
We all have to learn. That's true.
I mean, listen, I didn't write. I mean, even though I have been in the creative space since I was younger, when it comes specifically to film, I didn't write my first screenplay until I was a grown adult in 2015.
Wow.
Right? I had not held, until 2015, I had not held a camera in the sense of trying to make a film. I'd only held a camera like taking pictures and stuff like that, but not in the capacity of like trying to intentionally make a film. So a lot can change after you just take that first little step.
So you saying like from taking a picture with your phone, whatever, iPhone, Android, to going to holding the camera to make a film, like is it just a shift of I got to be intentional? Because with a photo camera, you know, you put it take it sideways, but it seemed like for filmmaking you gotta like be focused, or like you thinking of an intentional shot that you're trying to make.
For me, filmmaking is a little bit more intentional, or at least you have to be open. You have to be intentionally in the space of being open to creating art with it. Film is it's a visual art.
Right.
So it's one thing, like, you know, a lot of, like, if you think of a film that has dialogue, you can pick up context clues, and you can figure out, like, if two people are talking to each other, you can figure out really quick if they're talking in a loving manner, if they're angry, everything like that, right? When you're doing a film, there are other things you can do to get those points across as well. Is there red in the room? Is there a warm tone? Are there cool tones in the background to kind of show that love has kind of lost the room right now, and you have two people at odds with each other? Is one person wearing something very colorful and the other one's wearing something kind of monochrome? You know what I mean? Those are different ways you can visually, like, you know, impact your story. And we get to show kids different ways to visually impact their story so that the intentionality comes across in different ways. It can come across more than just dialogue. It can come across more like action. Sometimes some of the most powerful films to me have really great nonverbal acting going on with it, right?
Okay.
It's one reason why Angela Bassett is one of my favorites. She's a queen.
Queen of that queen.
Some of her best work, her and Viola Davis, some of their best movies, they're not talking the most.
Right.
Because you can get the sense of what they're trying to say and how they feel just by looking at their bodies and looking at their faces and their expressions, right? We get to teach kids how to do that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they don't have to know anything. But they will, if they're open to learning, they will learn a whole new world that will continue to grow for them.
Okay. Well, Amanda, could you touch on that? Because I know you teach filmmaking, but, you know, going from that iPhone to that cinema, you know, type shooting video, you know, I'm sure, is that a difficult thing to teach? Because the youth and the young people so used to their phone, but they get on that Black Magic or get on some of these cinema cameras, it seemed like it got to be a switch, like what Kimmel was saying.
There is a switch. However, actually, technology that these kids have access to has put them ahead of the curve. Because
And you can actually make, and I only say this to say, I hope I did not deter people from making films with their phone. You can make films with your phone.
Yes.
You know,
one of my favorite movies was shot on an iPhone.
which one?
Tangerine.
Of course.
Was shot on the whole film.
There are several movies that on Netflix now. All shot on completely on iPhones.
Wow.
I'm about to blow your mind. Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
Some of those shots are on the iPhone.
What?
Not all of them,
But some.
some of them. Yeah.
So that means the technology is getting up there.
Technology's up there, and I also said, sometimes it is not always the camera or the equipment; it's the skill behind it. So these kids having these devices in their hands, it's an easy way for me to take what they know with that and apply that to working with the camera. Of course, there's a lot of more moving parts with a film camera, but it's actually not difficult at all. Once they get that spark of creativity, they're hungry to learn, and that makes it so easy.
Gotcha. And that's a beautiful thing, because once that spark is lit, and my son, I want to get him in it, because he's playing with it, like he's thinking about it, and he see the stuff that I do, but he has Dad, show me that, or how can I do that? But I think it's time, and I think he was worried about having to know how to do it. But y'all just crushed it nope, that's not an excuse. Come on through. So before we get out of here, I just wanted to, make sure if it's something that we forgot to mention or wanted to talk about, here's your time to share it. Or if you want to thank some people, y'all both have the air to share now.
I would just like to thank the Indie Memphis staff. They are such a hardworking group of people. Joseph, Miriam, Kayla, Amanda, May, Matt, Molly.
Look at her running off them names like that. Yes.
Even Anton, who's president of our board and our board of directors. They're all amazing. So it's just really great to be a part of such a supportive organization, and also very supportive people. Our members are very supportive as well. So it's really great to step in this role and to feel that love and support from the jump. But yeah, I hope to see a few more applications come through. That's all I have to say.
All right, Amanda, saving the best for last. Take us on up out of here.
Oh, yeah. Definitely want to thank the good folks at Memphis Public Libraries and Cloud 901 Teen Learning Lab. The whole staff there is awesome about helping out Crew Up, because that is where we partner with them for equipment, but also for a meeting space. So it's a great place, and I'm really thankful for that. Thankful to Kimmel. She killed it last year as a mentor in our Crew Up program, and I'm thankful to all the mentors that we've had over the past 5 years. We've been able to get dozens of short films produced through this program, all by youth, and we couldn't have done it without all of our awesome, amazing local filmmakers who put in that time, the effort, the blood, sweat, and tears to really teach this next generation of filmmakers how it's done.
Appreciate it. And
I would like to add one thing. Well, two things. One, if there are any filmmakers listening to this, and you have not connected to my good sis Amanda, please hit her up, because we want to pair our kids with the best of the best. Gotcha. And we believe that we have some of the best right here in Memphis, and we want to expose our kids to that. So I did want to do a shout out to that. We're still recruiting filmmakers.
Oh yeah, it ain't over till it's over.
Okay, I got you.
And even outside of Crew Up, even if your child is not a part of Crew Up, if your child has created a short film, we, again, have a youth film fest that usually runs in August, and anyone can actually submit to that film if they are within the grades 7 through 12.
Okay.
So you don't have to be a part of Crew Up to get your film in there. You can, if your child has made a film, submit it, or if, niece, nephew, you have connection to somebody who has made a film, we want to see it.
Yeah, and if you don't have the equipment, Cloud 901 does.
Yes.
So you got no excuse.
Yep.
Awesome.
And I'm there to teach you.
Yep.
Look at that. Sell it. Now, I just wanted to say one thing before we go, because y'all both mentioned the word short film or short. is that like a specific time that makes it a short film, or
yes.
because some people like short, they think of YouTube shorts. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the definition of a short or a short film?
So the technical definition by the Academy standards is any film that's less than 40 minutes long.
Okay.
For our program, I know for Crew Up, the films are not allowed to be longer than 8 minutes.
Okay.
I think if you are submitting straight to the program, I think it's 15 or 12.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
It's 12 to 15 minutes. And here's the thing. And this is for all ages. If you're interested in making a short film and you're going to submit it to any film festival, right, even outside of Indie Memphis, it's usually beneficial to keep it to 15 minutes or less because from a programming perspective, film festivals are usually able to like program those films in like tighter blocks.
Gotcha.
If you keep it 15 minutes or less.
Gotcha.
And that's advice that did not come from Indie Memphis. That actually came from some festival insiders that I have in LA. Shout out to Women of Color Unite.
Put it out there.
Because my little short film was like 16 minutes, and they were like, sis, you could cut this down. Now it's 13. And my film got accepted into maybe like 8 or 9 film festivals.
But so you wasn't tripping when they said, sis, you need to cut this film down, because you respected what they was telling you. Like, you're like, okay, let me listen.
These are people who've been working in Hollywood for 30 years.
Wow.
So here's the thing. I'm competitive, but I'm also humble. And so I'm going to respect you if you're putting me up on game. I'm not going to come in here and say, oh, well, I know better. I know better, and how dare you? No, I want to win. So I'm trying to put as many. I love putting Avengers on my team, right?
I got you.
So if you're telling me, hey, I'm Captain America this, and I've been doing this for 30 years, okay, Cap, well, put me on game.
School me.
Tell me what not to do.
Right.
But seriously, I've always been able to just really be lucky and navigate to really just really great people who have given me great advice just because they want to see me win. So I feel like that's a blessing, and that's not for me to question. And their advice has taken me very far. Any women of color who are listening to this, if you have not heard of Women of Color Unite, it's one of the largest nonprofits in the nation, and they actually do a lot of stuff online. So even outside of Indie Memphis, I'm connected to other groups. That's a very legit group.
Gotcha.
So I just wanted to put that plug out there to them as well. So.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for taking the time. This is like Brother John after hours, but I wanted it's that important, ladies and gentlemen, that I really wanted them both to be able to come here and share the story. And I think every time you come here, you always drop in knowledge. Now you bring a hot young filmmaker ready to teach the new generation about filmmaking. You know, it's worth it. This is what makes my job so much fun. But thank you all for taking the time out to come out and share this information, okay?
Thank you for having us.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're up out of here. It is time to say goodbye. Tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6 a.m., you can check out Michael Adrian Davis from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now it's time for Brother John to say peace. You all be good, be safe, and let's hope no more rain coming, because I'm tired of all this wet. I'm ready to dry up. It was like 75 degrees yesterday in the day. So hopefully it'll be better tomorrow. Y'all be safe, be blessed. We up out of here. 88.5, the voice of 901.
The Kathy Hart Show, infusing you, recharging you, celebrating you, bringing balance to your day. The Kathy Hart Show, straight from the heart, reaching the heart. The Kathy Hart Show, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The Kathy Hart Show, infusing, recharging, and celebrating you and yours, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on 8.